When you look at this, this is unusual, as Megan pointed out. Not since '87 has this happened, but this doesn't seem to be a big surprise in the IP community.
Well, it's certainly remarkable, and it's a rarity. But if you, looking back 60 days ago, I recall being on air with Bloomberg West and commenting the day that the order came down that the stars are aligned for exercise of that extraordinary power in this particular case, inasmuch as at the center of the dispute is what we called a standard essential patent, as Megan was commenting on. And so the patent that was said to have been infringed here was one that implicates the interoperability of devices. And as much as this is important for the Apple-Samsung battle, this particular decision it has a much greater impact to the entire standard essential patent battles that are going on amongst other tech companies. Right now, there are two types of patents, effectively. You talk about standard essential patents, ones that implicate an industry standard, and non-standard essential patents, okay? But standard essential patents, almost every device out there, communications device, touches on some type of standard essential patent because they want to have interoperability between the devices. The key here is there's two different venues where these cases have been going forth, the district courts and the ITC. We now know that
Chris,
pursuing...
Can we unpack this? Let's unpack it separately, because I think there's the standard essential patent of FRAND issue on one side. There's the two courts on the other side. So, and I understand it all becomes conflated. But specifically, it sounds like Samsung's trying to tie together standard essential patents and non-standard essential patents into one sort of licensing deal. And that was one of the things that the court didn't have an issue with, but the Obama administration might have.
Well, you didn't see that highlighted in the majority opinion, and you didn't see that particular point being focused on in USTR Michael Froman's report and his letter. But in one of the dissents in the opinion, you saw this idea that somehow Samsung was offering an NSAP tied to an SEP, and that would raise concerns regarding antitrust concerns. But again, that issue was not centered to the decision. It seemed like it was much broader, as implicating getting an importation ban on any SEPs.
Yeah, no, I guess I read the dissent, and it seemed like an interesting idea that the very notion that Samsung had to offer a fair and reasonable licensing rate, and that by tying these together they weren't doing so, may have played into this decision in some way.
It may have. Again, we don't know in the letter that was sent from the Obama administration over to the ITC, and I think that would help the practitioners, investors, to understand what was the basis of this decision. But as it's worded now, I think it would be fair to say that it's going to be a rare instance where a party is going to be provided with an importation ban where the infringement's premised upon a violation of a standard essential patent. But again, this is also potentially good news for Samsung, because remember, there's several pending cases where it's on the other side of this, where it's being accused of infringing a standard essential patent. So it will breathe, I suppose, a degree of fresh air and certainty to those disputes that it won't be having its product being an importation ban put in place there.
So maybe a new precedent set by the Obama administration here that may apply a lot more cases down the line beyond Apple, Samsung?
Certainly. I mean, I think that right now, if you were going to be pressing an infringement case based on a standard essential patent at the ITC, remember, the only remedy that you can get at the ITC is an importation ban, is an injunction. And to the extent that that's been curtailed, I think parties are going to shy away from filing there, and moreover, I think we might see parties actually withdrawing complaints rather than investing money in a particular forum where your chances of getting the only remedy are slim. We'll see them move over to the U.S. district courts and pursuing their efforts there. There again, though, they haven't been allowing injunctions in those cases. It's really the money relief, the monetary relief is what you're looking at.